pipeline companies at the Alberta tar sands and how much they make, and you calculate that by the 13 pipelines that already exist, that's $250 billion leaving the Alberta tar sands already, without even these expansion of these new 8 other pipelines that they're trying to do. Their payouts are only 10%. That's municipal, federal, and provincial taxes and payout to landowners and such. That won't cover nothing. That won't cover nothing of a spill. One spill will cause a lot of destruction. Just one spill, not if, but when.
This is about the U.S. monopoly on our oil. When I started doing this research, I was worried because I saw that the same thing that had happened to the farmed salmon, which is British Columbia's most important agricultural export, and what I saw was that the same groups that were shutting down that industry were turning their sights on Alberta oil, and I thought, man, this is not good. So I started following the money. But at the time, we really didn't know what the campaign was all about. I stumbled across it by accident because in the tax returns of these foundations whose money I've been following, there were just these 3 little words, tar sands campaign. But 8 years later, we know. Now we know. Because the guy who has been coordinating this campaign for 10 years already, he said that from the very beginning, the campaign strategy was to landlock tar sands crude, landlock crude oil, to keep it out of international markets where it could get a high price per barrel. Nobody here is no less Canadian than anybody else. But the money, the big money that is behind that rally, from the Tides Foundation alone, more than 400 checks and wire payments totaling $40 million. Just imagine how much we could have done with that, right? Yeah. That big money is not Canadian, and that's the difference. Decisions about how we should manage our natural resources are being made behind closed doors, and not in our country, in another country. And I shouldn't have to go into US tax returns to find out who's funding who in my country. Who agrees?
The commitment that the Prime Minister has made to each and every one of us as Canadians, they're on a path of political reconciliation with First Nations people. It's going to take gatherings such as this that is going to push that agenda, where we will see the rightful place for First Nations to have consent, to look after our lands, and make sure the environment is not laid waste and taken away from future generations. This is what we stand for today.